Another way that we can see this change in consciousness is that going back into humanity's dim, dark past, when humanity was just little more than animal man in terms of its expression, we see the consciousness only concerned with self, getting enough food for self, getting enough shelter for self. And self became family, getting enough food for family, getting enough shelter for family. And then it became tribe. Your tribe was important. And a lot of consciousness within humanity today is still tribal consciousness.
Yeah.
But we moved on to national consciousness. And now we're at the brink of being international or global consciousness. And I've said this before, but there's a difference. International consciousness is taking the same patterns that we play with nations and just making them bigger. Global consciousness includes the other kingdoms in nature, right relationship with the animal, the plant, and the mineral kingdoms, as well as the spiritual kingdoms. And so this is being resisted by those forces that want to keep humanity asleep, want to keep the status quo in place, those forces that give matter predominance in that trinity of spirit and consciousness and matter.
But this is what has already been defeated.
On the inner planes, we got to now act on it outwardly.
Yeah.
We're seeing that. We're seeing this. Finally, we're seeing this separative impulse that's just running rampant, not just in this country, but in all over the globe. It's not just this country that's experiencing these echoes. It's everywhere, each in its own way, in its own nation, according to the nation's karma and so forth. But this is where we are. And even though we accept that shift on the inner planes, we have to proceed as if, which means we have to act on that mentally with our feeling nature, with our actions, and with our words and our activities.